Hi, it's Marcus here, and we have today John Castro,
Hello.
who's working with us in operations and sales, and he has for a long time been telling me, that he doesn't believe in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Then something happened. What happened at the weekend?
So we had a 2-day crypto profit masterclass, we called it. We had some phenomenal speakers come and give me the bigger picture of this thing called cryptocurrencies. So I think where I got intrigued was actually what the technology behind it is going to do for the world and do for just general people long term. So I loved that. I got inspired. I was like, I've got to get into this.
So this was really awesome. We had 75 people. They're all members coming in, and we had a lot of different trainers come in
for sure.
and do lots of different exercises. So we had a blockchain game, so that really people understood. They were running around, so people really understand what blockchain is, because they were creating the blockchain. And we had speakers and traders, investors, and I think you're talking, well, I don't know whether specifically, because so are you saying that your belief kind of grew because you were a little bit like, I'm not sure, etc. But you're like that with everything, though. What about the stock market? I mean, you invested in the stock market?
I think in my experience, and I haven't had lots of it, but I always find that I want to rely on myself, not anyone else. And I just find with the stocks, especially cryptocurrencies, there's no relying on anything. There's no formula yet. Hasn't been around long enough. Where at least with the stocks, which
how long has Bitcoin been around then?
10 years. How long has the stock market been around?
A lot longer.
Yes. How long?
The 17th century.
Yes, exactly. It's a little bit of a proven system. If you were going to go into it, where my background being sales, I know I can generate income with a phone and some numbers, and that's what I've been doing. I'm only 32, but that's all I've known. So, and I've bought some property in the past, which has worked and not worked, but at least I can go and touch it and see it, and it's quite simple, I find. I found with cryptocurrencies, no one can give me a straight answer. So that was where my concern lied. However, over the weekend, I saw, as I said, the bigger picture. So I actually saw more clarity from companies, from Sebastian, is it Huth? Who gave such a bigger picture on what the technology is going to do.
The blockchain technology.
So
give us an example.
I mean, dramatic, but child trafficking, for example, let's go a little bit more day to day. Could eliminate passports because I will be on the blockchain. It will relate to my fingerprint or eye retina. And do I even need a passport? If I get caught in immigration, they could go into.
It does seem crazy if you think about it. Like, so we are still in the European Union, just about. And so let's say in Spain, you give your passport to the officials there.
Yep.
Okay, they're officials. They represent that country. And then you, in an airplane, let's say it's 1 hour, let's say, okay, or 1.5 hours. And then you land, and then other officials have to check your passport again, but their colleagues have just done it. And within 1 hour, someth's changed. Right. What's changed within that hour? So that's the kind of example.
That's just a blatant example. That's
hundreds.
Exactly. And I loved that's what it could do for us. It could make transactions simpler. When he gave an example of $300 million worth of Bitcoin moving from one account to another for 4 cents or something. I was like, any bank is charging millions.
Within
minutes, right? Any bank's going to charge millions for you. And takes 12, 14 a month sometimes, depending on how far the country
is. Depending which country.
Right, exactly.
So and intermediary banks, and then you have FX charges in between, right? Foreign exchange.
Exactly.
From one currency to another. So then you said to me a couple of days back, Mark, well, after the event, you said, I'm going to buy Bitcoin.
I was like, I'm going to go and chuck 1,000 quid in.
And then I shook your hand.
And we went, yes.
And now it's on camera, so yeah, that's awesome. And did you buy any?
I didn't. And I went yesterday morning to buy. I set up a Coinbase account with you guys present yesterday, and suddenly in the afternoon, I found out it crashed again.
So hold on, you were going to buy, I'm looking at the chart here, you were going to buy, probably it was at 6,400, right?
I can tell you exactly when I set up my Coinbase. My Coinbase was set up around...
How long did it take for you to set up the Coinbase account?
Funny enough, it was a lot quick. I've tried before with you when we first started building the crypto club, and it took forever. I actually didn't get accepted at all.
It's a 20-minute video that we did showing people what not to do because we were struggling so much.
Right.
But I'll tell you what that shows you. What that shows you is that within a year, it's gotten so much easier, and that's what's stopping people, stopping people. And now it's so much easier to get onto the exchanges.
It was. So
the infrastructure is being built.
I went onto the computer, and previously I gave gave them a photocopy or a picture of my passport or driving license.
Right.
Never got accepted, never went. This time, actually, within 10 minutes, I uploaded the picture again a year later, and I was accepted within 5 minutes.
Do you know, I think it's a sign for you to buy, whereas before wasn't the right time.
It could be. So then then an hour later it crashes. So I'm happy I didn't buy.
So you should have gotten in at around 6,400.
Yep.
And now it's at around 5,600. So you can get it cheaper. Congratulations. Can you imagine? That's brilliant. So that's also, let's go. So where's your Coinbase account?
So the reason I'm not buying, this guy.
What?
So I'm not buying because
I thought this video was about us. We're going to buy.
But the thing is that there is no. The problem is, you've got to treat me as the general public. Okay. So the fact is I am your average Joe that is seeing this stuff and I'm trying to understand it. So I'm all in because I'm in that environment. No one's got that privilege. But I go in and then it crashes again. So I'm like, what's the point? You know, I would have lost not a lot, 200 quid yesterday I would have lost, but it's like, what? So where I get stuck is in this, where I'm trying to make money from it. I could do something better, in my opinion, sometimes. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy it. What I am saying is I am waiting for it to dip even more and more. I want to see, and if it goes up, it goes up. It's not going to make or break me. But I do have a number, and I think it will. I do, and I've said this for a long time, and no real.
What's the number?
I think sub $5,000. So
sub 5,000 then.
4.9. I've got an alert on Coinbase for 4.9.
A couple of hours ago it was 5,000. Now you've gone down to 4.9.
No, it's not. It's never hit 5,000.
No, you told me.
You know, that's around that number.
Okay.
So
all right. So you've got a certain value.
4,990.
Right. So that means you're saying at 5,000 you are going to buy.
I mean, I don't think it can get any worse, and I'm not got any. I've got no. What's the word? Nothing telling me or any. What's it?
Sure.
No rules, indicators or rules or any strategies or anything. I'm just going with gut here, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So for the third time, we're going to shake on it.
And I'm not just going to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to buy some other coins
what
as well.
else are you looking
So
to
I'm very interested in what Ripple's doing based on other people and what they're saying about Ripple and reading about it. And I'm very interested in Ether, obviously. Bitcoin's obviously the mother, or let's say the gold of cryptocurrency. So I will have some, but I think I'll split that 1,000. And I will put more each month, but I think for me, the biggest fear is going into something completely blind and then just losing it all. I
think that, what you're saying is what, many people are thinking, is that it's extremely volatile. But my question to you is, do you think that Bitcoin can go to zero?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest.
Because if you have a belief that Bitcoin can go to zero, unless you have a stop loss or you have a mental stop loss, which is going to take you out. Let's say you go in at 5,000 and you say, well, I'm going to let it drop to 4,000, but below that, I'm getting out, right? You can't really get in without that, because what if Bitcoin does go to zero, you lose all your money, and that's just not, see, I don't believe it can. So therefore,
but why?
Because of all the research that I've done, it's the ultimate blockchain.
Okay.
Right? Based on all the things that you said, there are faster blockchains, but this is the original blockchain. It can't be hacked. I think it's going to be a store of value. That's where it's going to move to, not a currency. I think some of the others like Litecoin and Dash and some of the others will be used as currency. And I think this will be more of a store of value like liquid gold. So I personally believe that, and by the way, it's not just Bitcoins that's gone down and the others haven't, right? They all tanked.
So do you think Bitcoin sets the standard? So do you think because Bitcoin's gone, everyone else has gone down?
Yeah, but that's not the reason it went down, by the way. Okay. The reason is because the hard fork that's happening with Bitcoin Cash.
Yes, I've read about this.
So about a year ago, Bitcoin Cash actually did a fork off because the people who were involved with Bitcoin thought, we can make this a bit better, we can make it faster, we can make it cheaper, and they forked off and created Bitcoin Cash. And when that happened, exactly the same happened. The difference is we now have hindsight knowing that it happened last time and there was a tremendous fall, but at the time they didn't know that, and everybody was panicking, selling, and then begets more selling and more selling and more selling, and then they panic and all the stop losses are hit, and then all those selling goes, and then everybody panics, and of course while everybody else is panicking, while you didn't get in, I bought. So yesterday I put more money in because my strategy, you say you're going from gut, I have a strategy. And the strategy is there are certain rules to it. And it was at the 30% from a recent high, and our strategy is to go in at certain percentages, so I've gone in again. So we'll see, won't we?
We shall see.
We shall see. We shall see. But you're going to get in at 5,000, so you're going to get in at a better price than me. But I'll be getting in again at that point as well.
I hope so. Look, as I said, I'm only interested because of what I heard about this weekend, and obviously you being, around me a lot. I'm trying to understand it more. I just think that if you're looking at me like any other person out there, I think it is so risky, and I think that's just where I just never lived in that much risk, and I think that's really it, which is another.
I think if somebody if you look at the general population, if they're not interested in investing their money in something like stocks, which is a little bit volatile, then there's Forex, which is a lot more volatile and is open during the night, so you can choose the hours. And now you have cryptocurrency, which is open all day, all night, all weekend, right? Which the stock market definitely isn't. Forex up until Friday evening, and then it starts again Sunday evening, and then all day, all night. But then this is the ultimate. And I think if you're not even used to that, this is scary. And we get that. And if I can show you how to make money, then I reckon I can show anybody how to make money.
I think let's make that a challenge.
That's brilliant.
Done and done.
That's a win-win for you, isn't it? That's a win for you, that's a win for me, and that's a win for everybody at home. So keep watching as we we teach John what to do. Make John make cryptos in money. We'll have to do a show which is about John. Which is
about me making money from cryptocurrency.
Brilliant.
Done. Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
And now what I want to do is I want to know, what is this? What is this?
That's for my beard.
That's for your beard. It wasn't just for your beard, was it?
And my eyebrows.
And your eyebrows.
Just in case I prepped myself.
This is what I have to deal with.